Namaste, goddesses. I'm going to allow some of you to jump on board and join me on this live, which is all about Yoni magic. I'm going to be sharing one of my most fundamental practices that is alongside the Prana Shakti, the breath. And I'm sat very comfortably on my sofa. And so if you have joined me, could you please write a little comment or give me a thumbs up or even a heart, just so that I know that I'm talking to somebody, and then we can begin the teaching. So maybe no one's joining me, I can't see. Anyway, so whether you are present live or whether you are watching this afterwards, I wish to say thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for showing up. And thank you for being seen. I've come to realize over the last few days that being seen truly gives permission to another woman to be seen as well. When you stand up for yourself, you stand up for another. And so what I wish to share with you today is Yoni magic and how to begin to cultivate a practice that invokes pleasure and awakens and arouses and activates Shakti. So I can see that some people have joined me. What I asked initially is if you could just say hello so that I know who's with me, and just allow yourself to be seen. Allow yourself to begin to connect with this practice as I talk to you a little bit more. So what I'm going to share with you now in this Facebook Live, and then a video of myself afterwards that is really quite vulnerable for me to reveal where I was going, and you actually see me shifting a blockage and going into an energy orgasm in this video. Not this one, but the one I'm going to share. So I am talking to you today about Mula Bandha. I like to call Mula Bandha Yoni Bandha. And Namaste, Vicky. Thank you so much for joining me. So great. I'm having a conversation with a girlfriend, Vicky, who used to live in Barbados, which is phenomenal. And now she lives in England, where I used to be. So hello, honey. So let's talk yonis. So yoni is the Sanskrit name for the vagina, and it includes all the female reproductive organs. And basically I'm introducing you to Mula Bandha. Mula Bandha is a primary practice in yoga, which you often hear more about in Ashtanga yoga. But Ashtanga yoga is, Mula Bandha is the root lock, and for me it's very masculine, like that type A practice of yoga, which is Ashtanga. I'm into my more feminine practices, and that's why I like to call Mula, which means root, Yoni Bandha, because I'm teaching women. And basically it is the Kegel exercises, which mirrors for me Ashtanga's root lock, where they tell you to really squeeze in and up and hold it. And same with Kegels, that you are taught after you have maybe had a baby to tone the vagina. But here's some interesting facts about Mula Bandha, or I'm going to call this Yoni Bandha from here on. Yoni Bandha not only tones the vagina, Yoni Bandha also aids digestion because it tones the digestive organs. And here's a big factor for Yoni Bandha, practicing it. It prevents incontinence. And so if ever a woman wants to prevent incontinence later on in life, or I've worked with clients who said that they sneeze and pee themselves, that when they start to come to my yoga classes and practice with me, the toning of their yoni improves and that no longer happens. So Yoni Bandha also balances the hormones and literally turns on the energy in your whole pelvic area. What Yoni Bandha also does is calms the nervous system. So it's just not a practice of squeezing your vagina and your pelvic floor muscles after you've given birth to tone up your vagina. It truly is a practice that I'm going to share a little info with you from a phenomenal book, Mula Bandha, The Master Key, that explains that Mula Bandha is the root lock, and it's at the point in a woman at her cervix. So when you begin to work with Mula Bandha, I want you to visualize a fluffy peony flower or a fluffy hibiscus flower. Now, all those petals are just soft and relaxed. And also think of the flower as a bud before opening and blooming. This is the pulsation that I want you to begin to do with your yoni. So you're not contracting into a tight fist, which is how Kegel exercises are taught. It's talking about squeeze, 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 and then let go, or holding on so tight. What's happening in life is we're already holding on so tight in the modern world. And so the practice that I teach is a relaxation of the grip. It's a relaxation of the doing. And this brings you into the subtle practice of Yoni Bandha or Mula Bandha. Because Yoni Bandha might seem or appear physical because you're squeezing, in Kegel. But it's actually a very spiritual practice. It's a very subtle energy that connects you to the psychic. And it does this through the movement. So I've been teaching you the importance of the breath, the Replenish Shakti, and we will use the breath as we begin to work with Mula Bandha. But basically, there's a psycho-emotional relationship with working with Yoni Bandha and these pulsations that literally turns on the whole of the energy system called the nadis within the body. And there's 72,000 nadis in your body. And here's the lovely geeky information that I just turns me on. And that is that the 72,000 nadis originate, their root is in the Muladhara chakra, your first chakra. And this is at the base of the spine or the cervix for a woman. And so basically, when you're working with Yoni Bandha, with Mula Bandha, the same thing, you are literally beginning to activate, to awaken, first of all, and activate these 72,000 nadis, which at their base, like a battery, stimulates and clears the 72,000 nadis within the whole body. This is huge, ladies, absolutely huge. And so this is the 72,000 nadis are going to affect you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychically. And so this is by just pulsing and releasing your yoni. Such a simple practice. And that is why this book calls Mula Bandha, which I call Yoni Bandha, the master key. For me, it's a Shakti key. And a Shakti key is one that opens the doors deeper within your experience of your own body. And so the way that I'm showing you in the video that I'm going to post afterwards is movements where you're inhaling and drawing the breath down towards your yoni, and then exhaling, the breath goes back up the body. Remember, in Tantra, we circulate the breath. What we're going to begin to add to this is, as you inhale down to your yoni as if you are saying hello, on the exhalation, you give a soft pulsating squeeze to your yoni, and that then exhales the breath up the body, bringing Shakti up your body into you. You're inviting your hello of the inhalation to receive her, to then exhale and invite her into your body. And so I'm showing you a video that is going to show you two movements, a rocking and a circulating, in a kneeling position and lying on your back. I teach it in a variety of different forms through my yoga classes, but this is just a very intro, and I'm fully aware that women love to multitask. So if you're a multitasker, just say yes in the box. And if you're not saying yes, I don't believe you. All women multitask. So with the practices that I share, we're consciously multitasking, where we're using the breath, we're squeezing, we're moving the body. And this is the thank you. Genta, lovely that you've arrived. Thank you, Vicky, as well. I knew you two would be multitasking. So basically, when we multitask, we do it in a conscious feminine, and, you know, it's tongue in cheek. We laugh at this. This is a conscious way where we're breathing, we're squeezing, we're moving. The breath is Ujjayi, where there is a sound, and the three tenets of Tantra are breath, sound, and movement. And if you're going to begin to awaken this pleasure within your body, which is what you're going to begin to do when you awaken Shakti, is she is this primal creative sexual energy within you that literally turns you on to life, turns you on to yourself and this power that you have within you. And what's coming to mind right now is the quote, does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as some surprise? I dance like I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Maya Angelou. She was talking about Shakti to me. Because yes, ladies, we have diamonds at the center of our thighs. And Mula Bandha, Yoni Bandha, where you begin to pulsate in a soft, seducing, milking way, allows you to awaken Shakti from this first chakra and invite her back up the body as you exhale. Now, this first one I'm teaching you, inhale, draw the breath down, the yoni is relaxed. On the exhale, you're pulsing, you're squeezing softly in and up. There are times, and I practice a lot with this, where I will change the breath because women are changeable like the weather. And that's okay. So if you are squeezing on the inhalation and that feels good to you, continue with it, but play around with it. So this is just a very simple video to a live, just to explain what my next video is. And then what I want to begin to teach you as we go on, if you're interested, is about these little wonders. Yoni eggs, these are my yoni eggs, jade eggs or rose quartz, or my Kegel balls. Now, as I said, these are called Kegel Balls. However, I personally don't resonate with Kegels. They are too active. And I've heard of Kegel exercises simply where women are adding weights. Now, as I said, we are already contracted and tight. And there, for me, needs to be a relaxation like that peony flower that's light and fluffy. Hey, Vicky, another Vicky, 2 Vickies in the house. Good evening. We're talking about Yoni magic, and I'm sharing the next video, which you're going to see me practicing with this, clearing a block within my body that then Shakti begins to ripple up past my throat chakra into my head, into an energy orgasm. And this is where you begin to work to come into full body orgasms. And you are very fortunate in my video that, 1, I let you see it, and 2, that she evolved. But clearly, Shakti comes to me in the fiercest form, in a goddess called Kali. And I'm going to begin to share about her. So she was rippling through my body. So while we're just finishing up this conversation, since I've got Genta and Vicky in the house, and hopefully some others, if there's any questions, please type them in and just allow me to answer. If you're already working with jade or rose quartz eggs, maybe you could ask. I was saying about the Kegel balls with the weights. I personally like these ones where you string them together. The rose quartz is healing. And what I do with these is, as I insert them in with the string, this is where you can pull on it slightly so that you can see you're relaxing and then holding on. And it's where you're working Yoni Bandha more actively. But I can't stress enough with the pelvic floor, there's 4 corners, like the 4 corners of the petals of Muladhara chakra, and they each represent a sensation or a feeling of pleasure. And these 4 corners are the pubic bone, the tailbone, and the 2 sitting bones. So the rocking action, which I teach you in the video, is naturally working your pelvic floor, getting it to relax and getting it to contract. And then we begin the pulsations of these squeezes that are soft and sensuous, that invite Shakti to come into your body. There's one other thing I'd like to say, is that Mula Bandha, or I call it Yoni Bandha because I'm working with women. When women start to practice this, they tend to squeeze their anal sphincter, which is called Ashwini Mudra. Okay, now don't worry if that is happening with you. In time, as you begin to practice a little bit more, you will be able to separate just pulsating through your yoni and relaxing the anal sphincter. When you come on retreats with me or in my classes, we begin to go on to Saha Jolie Mudra. And this is a beautiful one where we're pulsating up through the lower vagina and the clitoris. And this is really where we begin to take Shakti in and up and allow her to awaken, to arouse pleasure within you. Now, the meditation that I've done for you is 8 minutes, I think. You can practice it alone just by yourself and just becoming aware of this, where you rock and tilt. I personally didn't sit on a cushion, but that's a very evocative way to practice this. And when you see the video, you will know that maybe if you have a yoga bolster, you might want to slip it between your legs. And thank you for taking part in the poll if you answered the questions. Because pleasure for me is a fundamental practice for women to begin to awaken to Shakti. Shakti for me is the most pleasurable experience of feeling her within my body. And as I said, I inhale, draw the breath down towards my yoni as if I'm saying hello and I'm receiving my breath. And then on the exhalation, I draw up through my yoni and I'm inviting her to say hello back to me within my body. So those of you who are present, and hello Tracy, I'm glad that it's come at exactly the right time. It's never too late to start these exercises, these practices. So let's all do it together. Let's just sit with a tall spine and just close your eyes because that helps you to turn in. And I invite you to inhale and draw the breath down towards your yoni. Relax your yoni, relax the lips of your yoni. And now exhale, draw the breath up the body as you squeeze gently your yoni in and up. Inhale, release. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, relax your yoni, draw the breath down. Exhale, draw up through your yoni in this pulsation and feel the breath rising up your body. Just those few breaths, you can see my eyes relaxed. It takes 3 or 4 breaths to just awaken you to something more, this primal sexual creative energy that is originating as a coiled serpent at your cervix, ladies. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I talk way too long, probably because I'm by myself and I want someone to talk to. So anyway, bring your hands together in prayer. It's so lovely to share with you, and hopefully Facebook keep this video, even though I've mentioned Yoni's. And future videos, I'm going to teach you the 3 different types of Yoni Mudra. And I'm also going to speak some more and teach you about jade eggs, rose quartz eggs, to help to heal within. So for now, namaste, jai ma, blessings for your day and your week. Much love.